In the next part of our formatting in Excel module, we are going to now look at the basics and a little bit more advanced into our cut, copy and paste features. So for this, you're still working in your workbook called Formatting, and we're looking at the third sheet called Cut, Copy and Paste. Now over here we've got some data. We've got products, units that we sell in various months, and the number of units that we sell for each item. Now if we just simply wanted to cut and paste the data, you would very easily just select the information you are looking for. You can right click cut, or something to get used to, which will make your life a lot easier and speed up time, is Control X. That will now cut the data, and you can remember that by thinking that an X looks like a little scissors. Then to paste the data in a different location, you don't have to select the same size. You can just select on a blank cell, making sure that there's enough space for all the data, and you can right click paste, or as a shortcut, Control V. That will now move the data for you completely. I'm just going to Control Z to undo this. If we wanted to simply copy and paste the data, we can do the same thing, except for Control X, we'll use Control C or right click copy, and Control V or right click paste. I'm just going to undo this as well. But now pasting doesn't just stop there in Excel. There's various ways that we can use other options on top of our paste button that makes our life a lot easier. So let's have a look at paste special values. Now in this case I'm going to create some functions over here just to get my summaries, so I can get a total for coffee, tea and lattes over the first quarter. I've now got a nice sum function. If you don't want to use an actual typed out sum function, you can also just use your auto sum to create the same result for you. If I wanted to copy or cut this data, let's start by copying it. Right click copy, and I wanted to paste the data over here. You need to remember this is not data, this is a formula. So when you right click paste it, you will notice it will change to 0. Why? Because it's copying the formula, which is obviously also copying the cells relatively. So it's changing column B, C or D to column G, H and I respectively. So what we need to rather do is, instead of just copying and pasting, we copy the data, but if there are formulas in there, you will right click and you've got an entire paste special group. And as and when you use these commands, you'll notice that the most popular ones will already be up there for you. And the one that you're going to use in this particular instance is something called paste values. And as you mouse over, you'll get different options. So I'm just going to choose paste values. This will now copy the data, remove the formula, and paste the number as a value only. Another really useful copy and paste function in Excel is something called Transpose. And keeping in mind your data needs to be in a particular format, it needs to have row headings as well as column headings in order for this to work. I'm going to delete this data because we need to make a little bit of space for this. So Transpose allows you to transpose your table headings from columns to rows or rows to columns. Assuming you've done a table and it didn't quite come out the way you looked, you don't want to retype the entire table, you can try the Transpose option first. So we're going to right click copy our data. In this case I'm not going to copy the totals for now. Make sure you have enough space, right click, paste special, and the Transpose button actually looks like you can see little columns and row headings being swapped around. So I can select that. You will now notice my months are at the top, my products on the left, and it's also kept all my information together and exactly the way as it was. The very next one, which is also very useful, is something called link. You can choose to copy, paste special link. And this you can use not only within the same worksheet, within the same workbook, but across various workbooks, provided it can access the information. Let's say, for example, I'm going to go back to my first sheet, and from here, I want to copy a particular total. So I can right-click the data, say copy. This is actually not a formula, so it'll copy and paste perfectly, but assuming it was a formula. And I can then over here go right-click, paste special, and choose paste link. Link is the paste board with the little chain option. You will now notice when you click on that cell, it doesn't actually show you in the formula bars the value, but it shows you to where that cell is linked to. And the most important thing about this is when I update information from that particular cell, let's say this changes to 2000, my data, because this is linked, will automatically update as well.